Hi, I'm Jackie Waltz with NetHawk.tv, and I'm here today interviewing Tom Kellermann, who is the Chief Technology Officer of AirPatrol. So Tom, tell me about the solution that AirPatrol provides.
AirPatrol provides cognitive mobility, essentially wireless situational awareness, wherein one can identify all wireless devices that exist within their facilities and control their behaviors specific to their location or internal policies.
And in AirPatrol's space, what would be the difference between a cyber attack that happened in 2010 versus a cyber attack now in 2012?
Great question. In 2010, essentially cyber attacks would compromise the back-end networks and leverage a persistent presence within systems to steal your information. In 2012, because of Web 3.0, an attacker can not only compromise your back-end networks, but can actually compromise your life by tracking you with your device, by turning the microphone on in sensitive settings, by turning the camera on in sensitive settings, and or by launching Bluetooth attacks against anyone that you're sitting near in the course of a meeting. Those are called proximity attacks. So the threats have not only evolved to enter physical reality, but they've evolved in stage capabilities.
So take me through a typical implementation if a company is using the AirPatrol services.
AirPatrol consists of hardware and software, so most organizations would want to undergo a wireless audit to identify those rooms within their facilities or across their campus that are the most sensitive, whether it's the boardroom, the trading floor, the control rooms, the wire transfer rooms, etc. And essentially within those rooms then set certain policies to dynamically manage the behavior of devices within those set enclaves, at which point they deploy sensors, and then the software solution that allows them to combine physical and cybersecurity and to converge those by identifying anything that puts off energy in a room and controlling its functionality specific to the policies that you have in place. For example, in the boardroom, we will not allow text messaging or the microphones to be on unless you're calling 911.
For AirPatrol, what would be a sweet spot? What type of corporation would be an ideal customer for you?
Fortune 1000. Anyone that's being targeted by cyber attacks today. Cyber attacks are evolving. The adversary is launching staged and blended attacks against the endpoints and the end users and the executives who are carrying mobile devices as they travel. These devices need to be managed, their functionalities need to be managed under the concept of the following. Inevitably, the hackers will get inside your device, but make it more difficult for them to actually exfiltrate data in time-sensitive locations and or cyber contexts.
And how is social media affecting that?
The issue with social media is because these applications are always on the devices, they're constantly pushing and pulling data, specifically location data, as well as they can be used as channels by which hackers can exfiltrate sensitive data unbeknownst to your perimeter security folk.
And how is BYOD affecting your implementations?
It's highly problematic, which is why they necessitates the type of security solution that we provide, in that as you bring your own device to work, you need to be able to manage the malware and the accompanying digital insider threat that can come with it. And even though you might have righteous personnel that you implicitly trust, inevitably that device could turn rogue, and how are you going to manage that phenomenon from a physical and cyber context?
Do you find that there's user adoption issues, that there are certain executives that just push back?
There are. Most importantly, people are not aware that such a technology exists, that you can see all devices and then control their behaviors. Many organizations are fearful that you're actually impeding upon privacy rights by sniffing the data, which in essence we are not doing. We're just ascertaining whether or not there's energy there and what it's trying to communicate with, not what it is communicating. Once we get past those hurdles, it all begins with creating new policies, having mobility policies that have evolved to deal with the mobile environment that we live in.
Is that something a typical customer has to disclose when using the product?
I think it's important that most organizations revise their information security policies or facility security policies to include mobility. One reason why Chubb Insurance is partnered with AirPatrol is because they recommend a 10% premium credit to anyone that has a mobility policy that can dynamically manage the functionality of mobile devices on their campus. So it's becoming mainstream.
Anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Stay safe online.
Thank you very much. This is Jackie Waltz with NetHawk.tv.